Hi guys, today I'll walk you through installing Kali Linux in VMware, which is the virtual machine. And then once this is done, we will install Burp Suite inside Kali Linux so we can actually intercept HTTPS traffic. Alrighty, so I will assume that you already have VMware installed. You just need to register, then install it, and it's totally free even with a pro version account. And once you have it installed, you will be presented with such a screen, which we will cover in a second. So first thing, we wanna install Kali, right? So let's download that. Get Kali. Now you have here two options. I mean several options. You have the installer image and the virtual machine. Since we're gonna work on a virtual machine, we're actually going to host the Kali on the virtual machine. We will go with this option, and then you have several options here. And since we installed VMware, we'll go with that one. You can definitely go for VirtualBox. I don't know, I just find VMware more easier to use, I guess. All right, so it's around 3 GB. So give it some time. Once it will downloaded, we'll need to extract it to a different folder and then upload the ISO file straight to the VMware, right? So it's going to be a very easy peasy installation within few minutes, no configuration required. I mean, just the basic configuration. Um, but I find it the easier way to do so. All right, or maybe not. Now we have it. Great. So once we've downloaded the WinRAR, Um, I like to just open it and then right click, extract to a specified folder. Now let's go to documents and then let's create here another folder and let's call it Kali Linux 1. And then, okay, it will start extracting. And once we have it done, we'll be able to upload the ISO file straight to the VMware machine. Great, we're done with that. Now let's go to the path that we actually extracted that. It was documents and then Kali Linux 1. And there it is. Now, as you can see, there are many files here, but this is the one that we need. So once you got it done, you go to the VMware and then open virtual machine, and you're gonna go to the folder that you downloaded it, that you extracted it. That's not the one, that's the one. And then it will give you the specific file, open, and then you have it ready to power. Now, one thing that I like to do here, okay, since I'm running several things on this Kali machine, sometimes it's getting very slow, right? So in order to prevent that, I am allowing it to use more of my computer memory. So you do that by going to the edit virtual machine. And then what I like to do, I don't like to go up to the end, like the maximum. So I'll go like 20, 26, right? And then okay, great. So now it's using more um, memory than it used to use, which means better performance. Okay, channel mitigations. Enable some mitigation for enhancing it, but lower performance. I'm good with that since we increase the memory. Now let it load, and the first thing that you want to do is update your Kali machine, right? Because you're probably downloading a version that was released, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. So you always want to keep it updated. So once it will be installed, we will run two main commands, and that two commands, which are actually update and upgrade, will make sure that you have the most up-to-date libraries in there, like tools, etc. Okay, so we have it ready to use. Now the default username and password is going to be Kali Kali. Later on you can change it. All right, so as I said before, we want to update and upgrade the sorry, the current libraries that we have. So we'll start with sudo apt update, and we can add dash y, which means yes for everything, but let's see, I like to do it manually. I assume it's gonna download a lot of libraries because the package that we downloaded was released a few months ago. Let's see, we can already see that we have 74 megabytes to download. Perfect. Now he's asking us to upgrade. So we can do the same thing, sudo apt, but instead of update, we'll go with upgrade. And that would be the second step. Now that we have updated and upgraded the Kali Linux machine, it's time to install Burp Suite. Um, Personally, I'm using the Pro version because it gives some benefits in terms of faster intruder and other features. But this time I'll do the Community Edition, which is free, which is the main difference between them. The Pro version costs around 450, I think, a year, and the free is free. So let's start with that. If you're gonna go to your Kali search box, type Burp Suite. Your jury appears to be version this and that, version fully tested platform, okay. So we're always on a temporary project unless you wanna load existing one that you worked on before. And the main purpose of this thing is that I've seen many people struggling with exporting and importing the burp certificate. Now, what do I mean by that? You do have the Burp Suite browser, right? So if you're gonna go to the proxy tab, and of course you need to make sure that you're listening on the right port. So this is your local host with 8080, and then you'll open the browser, which is it's called Chromium. I'm having a hard time saying that. Anyway, if you'll go to any, let's say, Google, you will see that it will intercept the traffic, right? And if we'll go, you see we got target, we can go to HTTP history, we can see that it is successfully intercepting the traffic, but there are some scenarios where this specific burp browser cannot pass CAPTCHAs, for example. So if you're testing a website that presenting a CAPTCHA or sometimes JavaScript, it will have a hard time of parsing, in other words, answering the CAPTCHA, so it will get into a loop, right? So you won't be able to process the request and it will give you a hard time. So in these scenarios, there is a you can do it via the the browser, like the Firefox browser. Now, how we can achieve it? There is a specific extension. It's called Proxy, if I'm not mistaken. So let's do Firefox extension. There it is. So we will install that, and then we will download Burp Suite certificate. We will upload the certificate that we downloaded into our new browser that we're using, the Firefox. And if you will have scenarios where the Burp Suite browser is not working well for you, you can also intercept the traffic via Firefox, which is much more easier. Um, so okay, let's do add to Firefox, and that's the FoxyProxy standard, because there are a few versions if I'm not mistaken. So we downloaded it. Let's pin it to the toolbar. Great. Now we need some configurations over here, and this is the tricky part. And the only thing that needs to be done here is just you need to go to the proxy tab and then add a new one. We're gonna call it Burp Suite, and then we want it to listen at 127.0.0.0.1, and then on port 8080. So this is going to replace the Burp Suite browser, and that is it. Let me make sure. Yes, okay. So save it. You can even change the color. So let's put it as orange. Save. Great. Now let's reopen. Let's close it first and reopen Firefox, and then let's turn it on, and then let's see if it's actually intercepting. So make sure that you're turning that on and you're listening on 127, and it's by default you're supposed to have the same configuration on Burp Suite, right? But okay, so let's go now to um, kali.org. Okay, so over here you can see we don't have the right certificate. So this is what we need to do next. While the intercepting is on, you need to go to HTTP and then burp if I'm great. So yeah, it's gonna be HTTP burp, and then you have on the right here CA certificate, and make sure again that the interception is on. Download the certificate, and once it's done you need to add it to your browser, to your Firefox browser. So I went to preference settings, sorry, and then you can do it in an easier way, just searching for cert, view certificates, and over here in the authorities you can do import and go to the one that you just downloaded, and then open it, and then you can check the first option, trust this CA to identify a website, because this is what we need, and then okay. Now let's disable that, close everything, and let's reopen Firefox. Let's enable Burp Suite, and then let's go to kali.org, and then let's see if we're able to intercept the traffic. Great. So now we did not give us that error certificate message. Now if we'll go to Burp Suite, for example to the target, we do see that it was added to our items, and you can also see here that it's intercepting each and every request. So that is it. We've covered how to install Kali on VMware, then Burp Suite comes by default with Kali, and then we showed how to install the certificate in case you want to use to intercept the traffic in Firefox, which I elaborated before, why it's so important and not only relying on the Burp Suite uh, uh, browser extension. Alrighty, hopefully it was helpful for you, and comment down, tell me what do you think, or if you want more videos, I'd like to hear.